We start to drink. To get the conversation going, as is my job, I tell these guys that I heard that it's a tradition when you open a bottle of vodka in Moscow, in Russia, with friends, that you finish it. And this young guy at the table, maybe he's 23 years old, he's like, this is a bullshit. This is a bullshit. I don't know where you're hearing this. Maybe you're watching too many American movies about Russia. No, we're not all wearing furry hats and doing the crazy dancings and then drinking bottle of vodka to empty. This is a bullshit, guy. This is a bullshit. I'm like, okay, you get the next shot because you're not being very funny. And then we sat around and we got to know each other. And we talked and we laughed and we had an amazing time until the bottle was empty, because it is a tradition. Big deal, it's okay. Traditions are great. Now at this point, Christina, the producer, she comes around behind the table and she's like, hey, how do you feel about that? I'm like, that was great. She's like, yeah, I think we're wrapped. That was a great scene. I'm like, yeah, this is a great way to end the show. And I hear behind me, they opened another bottle of vodka. So, decision time. I can rest on the fact that, look, we just shot an amazing scene at the end of an incredible episode. I can wake up tomorrow with probably not the worst hangover I've ever had, or I could embrace the fact that I am in Moscow in the dead of winter in this shithole communist tenement apartment with 4 drunk Russians well on their way to trouble, so I fucking stayed. So I stayed. Of course I did. Absolutely. So we start drinking from that second bottle, and that young guy, he's like, hey, I will get something. I'll be right back. Leaves the apartment, comes back 2 minutes later, kicks open the door, holding above his head a Kalashnikov, a machine gun. And he sees the look on my face like, oh, this is how it ends. He goes, guy, don't worry, this old Soviet gun. Here's the thing, though. The predecessor to the Kalashnikov was the AK-47, invented in 1947. The Kalashnikov, also known as the AK-74, was invented in 1974. This gun is younger than me, but he's wielding it like a fucking Civil War musket. Or a club that cavemen would use to hunt women. Or the promise of fame that Kevin Spacey would use to hunt young men. What is he, from here or something? Jesus, fuck that guy. And he hands it to me. He forces his gun into my hand. And look, I'm not used to handling heavy artillery. I'm not from Orange County, so I don't... I'm not from Orange County in any state, by the way, just to clarify that. And so I'm like, okay, great, I'm holding this. Is it loaded? He goes, no, of course not loaded. I'm not going to hand you a loaded machine gun, okay? I'm like, oh, God, yeah, sorry. I'm fucking idiot. So I can pull the trigger? He's like, well, maybe don't pull triggers. Sometimes bullet gets stuck. What the fuck are you talking about? Maybe? So he handed me what is possibly a loaded machine gun as we're sitting here getting loaded on our second bottle of vodka. And this old guy sitting next to me leans in and goes, a Kalashnikov-like woman. She probably not mad at you, but why ask to find out?